$1,060 a month. That's the new fixed federal student loan payment on a $150,000 balance, the kind of debt load a lot of MBAs, JDs, and MDs are carrying, under a plan that took effect on July 1st of this year. Depending on which repayment plan you're on right now, that could be roughly double what you were paying 2 months ago. The Save plan is gone. The menu of repayment options just got a lot shorter, and almost nobody with high balance student debt has actually run the new numbers yet. My name is Joey, and on this channel, I want to teach you how to save, invest, use, and grow your money so you can have more freedom and retire earlier without depending on the government. Subscribe to the channel and like this video. Here's what happened. The Save plan, the income-driven repayment option that capped a lot of borrowers' payments well below what older plans required, was struck down and officially ended. Starting July 1, 2026, anyone who was enrolled got a notice from their loan servicer and exactly 90 days to pick a new repayment plan. Miss that window and you get auto-enrolled into the standard plan or the brand new tiered standard plan by default, usually the most expensive option available, not the cheapest.
On top of that, the entire menu changed. There's a new income-driven option called RAP, the Repayment Assistance Plan, and it sits alongside the new tiered standard plan as essentially the only two choices for anyone taking out a new federal loan after July 1, 2026. If you have any new direct loan after that date, all of your loans, even older ones, get folded into just these two options going forward. This lands hardest on exactly the audience watching this channel. Graduate debt from an MBA, law school, or medical school routinely runs $100,000 to $250,000, and the government notice explaining all of this reads like it was written for someone with a single small undergraduate loan, not 6 figures of professional debt. There's also a second, quieter change buried in the same reform. Anyone taking out a new direct loan on or after July 1, 2026 has all of their federal loans, including older ones from years ago, folded into just these two new options, permanently losing access to the wider menu that used to exist. Understanding the actual math here isn't optional if you're carrying that kind of balance.
Let's start with the tiered standard plan, because the mechanic here is the one nobody explains clearly. Your fixed repayment term is based on your loan balance, not your income. Under $25,000, you're on a 10-year term. $25,000 to $49.99, 15 years. $50,000 to $99.99, 20 years. And $100,000 or more, a 25-year term. Run the actual numbers on that top tier. A $150,000 balance at a typical federal graduate loan rate around 7%, fixed over 25 years, comes out to approximately $1,060 a month. That payment doesn't move if your income drops, if you take a lower-paying job for a year, or if you're between positions. It's fixed to the debt, not to your paycheck. Now compare that to RAP, the income-driven alternative. RAP calculates your payment as a percentage of your adjusted gross income, starting at a minimum of just $10 a month and rising gradually up to 10% of AGI at the higher end, minus $50 a month for every dependent you claim. Take a borrower earning $85,000 with 2 dependents, near the higher end of RAP scale. Roughly $708 a month at 10% of AGI, minus $100 for the 2 dependents, lands around $608 a month. Same debt, same borrower profile, 2 different plans. Approximately $1,060 a month fixed, or approximately $608 a month tied to income. A gap of over $450 a month, and a lot of people are about to get defaulted into the more expensive one simply by not choosing in time. There's a trade-off hiding in that gap, though, and it matters which side of it you're on. The tiered standard plan's higher payment pays off the full $150,000 in 25 years, with a predictable, decreasing amount of total interest along the way. RAP's lower payment is easier to carry month to month, but interest keeps accruing on a larger remaining balance for longer, and RAP includes its own separate repayment timeline for eventual forgiveness, meaning the lower number today isn't automatically the cheaper number over the life of the loan. The right answer depends on your income stability and how long you're willing to carry the balance, not just which payment looks smaller in the notice. Now, you might be thinking, if RAP is that much cheaper, why would anyone end up on the tiered standard plan by accident? Because a 90-day government deadline buried in a servicer email is exactly the kind of decision most people put off. It doesn't feel urgent until the new payment actually hits your account,
and by then the default has already been locked in.
There's also an anchoring problem. If you were on Save, your old payment was likely low, sometimes close to nothing depending on your income. That low number becomes your mental baseline, and the notice about repayment plan changes reads like routine paperwork rather than a payment that could double or triple. Nobody opens a form letter from a loan servicer expecting a 5-figure annual swing in what they owe.
First, don't wait for the 90-day window to close. Log into your loan servicer's portal today and confirm exactly which plan you're currently on and what date your window actually expires. This single check takes less time than this video. Second, run both numbers for your specific situation before choosing anything. Use your actual loan balance for the tiered standard estimate and your actual AGI and dependents for WRAP. The gap between the two can be small or enormous depending on your numbers, and guessing costs real money either way. Third, if you're carrying high-interest private eligible federal debt and you have strong, stable income, compare refinancing with a private lender against staying federal. But go in aware that refinancing federal loans permanently gives up income-driven options and any future federal relief. So this only makes sense if your income is genuinely stable.
Finally, once you've locked in the right plan, treat the gap between what you were paying and what you're paying now as a number you actually track, whichever direction it moved. If your new payment is lower than expected, redirect the difference into retirement automatically before it quietly disappears into everyday spending. And if it's higher, don't just absorb it silently into your budget either. Recalculate what else has to move to cover it on purpose, instead of finding out 3 months from now through a shrinking checking account. $1,060 or $608, same debt, same person. A $450 a month difference decided almost entirely by whether you picked a plan on purpose or let the 90-day window pick one for you. Subscribe to the channel. Every week I break down the rule changes that actually affect what you owe and what you keep. Next video, the exact order to prioritize student loan payoff against retirement contributions once your plan is locked in. I'll see you there.